Hi, I'm here with Gert Breitfuss, who's a senior researcher at the No Center, a research institute in Austria, and Gert specializes in data-driven business models. So great to have you here, Gert. Can you
Hi,
tell me in a few
everybody.
sentences what your company does? What do you do?
Yes, sure. Yeah, I'm working for the No Center. This is an applied research institute in the field of data-driven business and
Hmm?
artificial intelligence. We are based at the campus of Graz University of Technology. We're doing research along the data life cycle, so starting from data retrieval, data exploration, cleaning, data processing. We train machine learning algorithms and any kind of data visualization. My field of research is data-driven business models. So my colleagues and I want to help companies to create business value out of data. So we are designing and testing tools and methods for developing data-driven business models.
Right. So you must have helped many businesses to make their business really data-driven. Do you have nice examples for the viewers?
Sure, yeah. That's the main objective of our research. So we really want to help any kind of organization, no matter if it's a large enterprise, a small and medium enterprise, or even NGOs, to benefit from data. So data can be beneficial in many parts of a business model. For example, a local industry company here in Graz develops and sells automated warehousing solutions. So imagine a big Amazon or Zalando warehouse where all the inbound and outbound logistics need to be processed in an automated way with many robots and machineries. So that's the core business of that company.
That company provides the solutions to manage a warehouse.
Yes. So all the racks, the conveyor belts, the software, and the maintenance services which is needed to run such a warehouse.
Right, the equipment, the IT, and the service.
Yes.
And when we think about the data that this company can use, what data comes to mind that the company creates by itself?
Yeah, first of all, a lot of data is created by the company itself. So think of all data created through the production processes, the sales processes, and of course, there also exists a lot of financial data in every company. The good thing is most of the data is centrally stored in an enterprise resource system
Hmm?
and can be made available quite easily for any kinds of analysis.
Right, okay. And that's the company that is the data that the company has. What about the data of its partners?
Yeah, important data can be derived, for example, from suppliers and customers. This data can be used to optimize the supply chain, for example, to balance out fluctuations in demand or avoid supply bottlenecks.
Okay, so that's the data of the partners. Now, is there also other data, open data, outside of the company and its direct partners?
Yes, open data can be an important data source for developing data services. Think of geographic data, for example, data from Google Maps. You can use it, of course, for private search or route finding. For this kind of things, it's free. But if you want to use the data commercially via an automated data interface, you need to pay a fee, which is dependent on the amount of data you're using. So basically, there are a lot of free open data available. For example, provided by open governmental institutions or offices, or data from any national or EU statistics agency.
Right, yeah. So ranging from geographical data to statistics information. And sometimes for free and sometimes it's paid, depending on how much you want to use.
Yeah.
Hey, what about other data? Data that may be not so clear who has it.
Yeah, think again of our company example. So the company that is selling automated warehouse solutions. What about the generated data of the warehouse itself? So at Amazon or at Zalando, who is the owner of the data? is it owned by the manufacturer of the warehouse, or is it owned by the customer, by Amazon? So if you want to use this data for the development, for example, for new data-driven services, you need to make clear the ownership and the usage rights of this kind of data.
Yeah, exactly. That could be very strategic data to know exactly what's going on in the warehouse. And when you would combine all these data sources that we've talked about so far, what would be the payoff? Can you give an example?
Yeah, through the combination, as we talked about, that all the different sources, internal data, data from customers, or open data, you have the chance to develop new add-on services, for example, for the product you're selling. For example, for this kind of company, we developed the kind of simulation service. So just imagine, for a company like Amazon, there is the Black Friday, quite an important day for selling, for
Very
online
busy
selling.
day. Yeah.
And if you could, let's say, simulate, so let's say the amount of things you need to deliver at that date, if you could that simulate beforehand, this is quite an important service for such a company.
Yeah, so and the more data that you can combine, the better the simulation.
Yes.
The predictions. Nice. Okay, thanks, Gert, for giving this overview of a nice case. To you watching, good luck with making the assignment, and perhaps you can even think of a few more data sources that a company like this could use. Thanks, Gert.
Thanks a lot. Goodbye.